think, as you all know, we have made a determination that we will have these post-cabinet briefings as regularly as possible to keep the people of Barbados updated about the things that we have decided and the policy direction in which the country will be going. Today, I just want to speak very briefly in relation to issues pertaining to homelessness and the decision that was made at the cabinet today. Now, you would have heard over several conversations that myself, my permanent secretary would have said that there's a need for us to find a way to properly address homelessness. And we would have already stated that we are working on a homeless policy. We're working on an action plan as well. But the reality is that there's a growing number of persons manifested in the streets of Bridgetown particularly. And since we would have made the determination by the Treasury, then there was some concern about the persons in town. And of course, every now and then there are occurrences that catch the attention of the media that drive further conversation. The reality is that we have made a determination that we must address homelessness. In Barbados, currently, there are really 3 facilities that cater to homeless people. It is the Clyde Gollop Shelter for Homeless Men, and that caters now to 34 men. It's a 24-hour shelter. Men come and go as they please, but they're there to provide for themselves. They have to bring their own food and so on and so forth. We also have the Salvation Army Male Hostel and Feeding Center as well. And while that allows catering for 21 persons, I think there's a small fee as well. And then, of course, there's the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness, which offers a much wider variety of services and caters to the various needs of persons who would be homeless and has the capacity to hold 90 persons. One of the challenges that we had is that the Alliance to End Homelessness can only have a person during the day because of cost constraints. So they operate, during the night for cost constraints. They operate from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., which means that during the course of the day, persons who are homeless really have no facility. The other thing is that during the night time, it's probably not the best time for interventions, for counseling, medical interventions, and so on and so forth. These things are better delivered in the day. So for us to be able to adequately address the challenges facing homelessness and the homeless, we needed to have access to a homeless shelter. If you consider that in relation to what the Prime Minister has recently expressed and what I've expressed is the functioning and DNA of this government, which is that we will work with the third sector. We're going to work with the NGO community to be able to deliver this. You'd have seen it very recently in relation to our announcement with BARP, that we're going to be working with BARP to build facilities. It's not the first time we've been making that expression consistently. We just believe that the devolution of some of this responsibility to the NGO sector is the best way to deliver goods and services to the people who need them the most. So in this regard, we're going to be having a relationship with the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness, and they have a capacity for 90 persons, which means that during the day, there are 90 available spots. And we will be partnering with them to be able to deliver this 24-hour homeless shelter. We believe that we will see immediately a reduction in terms of the persons in town if they agree. Because I want to make it very clear, this is not a case where we're going to be going and dragging men and women against their will into some institution, but if they agree. And at that facility, they will have access, of course, to the beds, but more importantly, we think, we will have access to nurses, doctors, counseling services, 3 meals a day, and so on and so forth. I think that when we do this, we are then able to treat homelessness in a much more holistic manner.